What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my Money's channel. So you guys already know I got another one of my bomb ass recipes for you guys. So you guys better save your cheat day because you guys are gonna need it for this recipe. So oh, by the way, I hope you guys like my new hairstyle. This quarantine got us all going pelonas, because let me just tell you, girl, I have my extensions and I had to take those motherfuckers out because they were outgrown. So I'm sticking to my regular hair for now. I also got a little cut, so I hope you guys like the new look. But anyways, so for today's recipe, you guys, I'm going to make you guys birria tacos with the consommé. So I know birria tacos are kind of popping right now. I mean, they've obviously always been popping, but right now I feel like it's kind of a thing, kind of like when the Popeye's chicken was in. So I feel like this is kind of like the same thing because everyone has been posting the birria tacos. Alright guys, so let me show you guys what we're gonna need for this recipe. Alright guys, so for this recipe you are going to need in English it's called chuck pot roast, I believe, and in Spanish is diez mío. So for all my newbies learning how to cook, for this recipe I do maybe recommend going to like a Mexican meat market, just because right there I feel like they're gonna give you everything that you need and they'll cut it up however you want. That's just my suggestion, but you guys go wherever you guys prefer. So I told the carnicero means butcher for those of you guys don't know. I told him to cut it up for me so I can make birria with it. And for those of you guys who are kind of new to cooking, this is gonna be weird for you guys probably. So for my recipe, I'm using chamorro de res. It's bone steak. That's what the label says. You guys know I don't know how to speak English or fucking Spanish, but you guys know what I mean. So this bone, basically this is what's gonna give your consommé flavor. I highly recommend anytime you're making cocido, I do recommend that you buy this because it's going to give your caldo flavor. So for the chamorro, I'm not sure how many pounds I got, but it's just like 2 chunks, just so you guys kind of get an idea. The diez mío, I got about 6 pounds, like 6.5 pounds, just so you guys know how much to use. You are going to need rábanos. You're going to need sesame seeds. You guys don't make fun of my sandwich bags, but okay, so you are going to need peppercorn. So this is whole black pepper. You're gonna need clavos. In English it's cloves. You are going to need bay leaves. You're going to need whole cumin. You're gonna need a white onion. You're going to need garlic. I recommend that you grab a couple of heads in case you don't have any, because you're gonna need a few. You are going to need thyme. You're going to need chiles de árbol. You're going to need New Mexico chili pods, guajillo chili pods, pasilla chili pods. You're going to need cinnamon. You're gonna need ginger. You can use fresh or ground, but I usually use fresh. You're gonna need a bunch of lemons. You're going to need white vinegar. Guys, OMG, I had to bust a mission and get queso because my ass forgot. You guys can use Monterey Jack cheese if you want, but I personally like the Oaxaca better. I think it tastes better. Alright, you guys, so now we're gonna throw in our meat in here. So I'm gonna throw in my chamorro first. It doesn't really matter how you put it in. Now I'm gonna put the diez mío in. Alright guys, now I'm gonna throw in the salt. I'm gonna do about this much salt, but you can add more, it's really up to you. I'm gonna throw in a little more. So I'm gonna do like 5 garlics. I'm doing half of an onion. And I'm gonna throw in 2 bay leaves. Now we're gonna fill up our pot just enough to cover the meat. That's it. Alright guys, so I put enough water just to cover my meat. So now we're gonna let our meat cook for about maybe like an hour and a half to 2 hours. But I do recommend to keep checking the pot because you are gonna have to add a little more water as it cooks. So keep an eye on it. All right, guys, next step, we are going to take this off. So you see like all the greasy, foamy part, we're gonna take that off. And I just like throw it away in a little cup. All right, guys, so I cleaned my caldo as much as I could. And I put like all the grease and all like the foam in this cup. So this is what it should look like. So now I'm going to add a little more salt because I do feel like it needs a little bit more. And then I'm going to let it cook for like 10 more minutes. And then while we let it cook, we're going to start making our salsa for the birria. I'm going to start cleaning my chile. So I'm going to start with this bag first. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use the whole bag. I'll tell you guys how much there is in here right now. All right, guys. So for those of you guys that don't know how to clean chiles, the way that I do it is I just open this and you just open it up and take out all the seeds. Alright, guys, so now my chiles are cleaned. Now I'm gonna put them in the pot. And I'm gonna rinse them and then we're gonna put them to boil. All right, guys, I put like maybe like 13 New Mexico chiles. It was the whole bag that I showed you guys, so I just threw in the whole bag. I'm throwing in 3 chile pasilla. This is what they look like. I put about 10 chiles guajillos. And I'm putting about 6 chiles de árbol. You can use a little less if you want, because these are the ones that are spicy. The big ones are not spicy. It's spicy. It's mostly the chile de árbol. These are the ones that are more spicy. So you can put a little bit less if you want, but it's not super spicy, but it does have a little spice to it. Now I'm going to rinse these with hot water. Once I rinse them, I am going to put them to boil. Alright, guys, so now I have my sesame seeds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to toast them a little bit. So I have this on super low because these fucking burn fast. The first time I made that shit and I was like toasting them, they started popping up like crazy, like fucking popcorn. So to my newbies, beware, because that shit happened to me, but it's cool. Also, I already have my chiles boiling. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna toast about maybe 1.5 tablespoons. Maybe like that much. You don't want to use a lot. Keep continuously stirring them until they get a golden color, and they turn gold very fast, so you want to keep an eye on it. All right, guys, so these have like a little golden color now, so that's how we know they are done. So now I'm gonna put them on the side. All right, you guys, so now I'm gonna cut my ginger. I'm going to use about maybe this much. I'm only gonna use about this much, so you only need a little bit. And now I'm gonna peel this. Alright, guys, and this is what your ginger should look like. So now we're gonna put it to the side while we wait for our chiles. Alright, guys, I'm making a green salsa also, so I could have on the side. So the way I make my green salsa is I have some tomatillos, and then I have some chiles, and I have about 3 garlic cloves. And then I'm going to toast them on both sides, and then we're going to throw it in the blender. Now my chiles are ready, so now they're ready to go in the blender. Alright, guys, so I'm going to start making my salsa for my birria. So I'm going to put 7 garlic cloves in here. I'm going to throw in my piece of ginger, and I'm going to start throwing all my chiles inside the blender. Alright, guys, so I threw all my chiles in there, and I'm gonna start adding the rest of my ingredients. Alright, guys, so I have my canela. I'm gonna grab my 1 stick. By the way, to my English speakers, canela is cinnamon. I forgot, I keep talking to you guys in Spanish. But anyways, so this piece is like not that big, as you can see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it in half. So I'm only gonna use half of it. So I'm gonna use about that much, like that much, so you guys can see. And I'm gonna throw it in here. And then I have my sesame seeds. I'm gonna throw them in there as well. All Alright guys, so I have, oh check this out you guys, I got measuring spoons. But anyways, okay, so I have half a teaspoon of the peppercorn or the black pepper. You can just throw it in the blender if you want, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna smash them. So you can try smashing them maybe with like a cup or a coffee cup. I'm gonna use my molcajete rock. Alright guys, so I got my molcajete rock and I'm just gonna start squishing them. I'm smashing them in case the blender doesn't do it for me, so it'll be easier for the blender to do it once I'm done smashing it. Alright guys, so now I smashed my black pepper. This is what it should look like. Now I'm gonna throw it in the blender. Alright guys, now I'm gonna smash my cloves. I grabbed about this much. I believe there's like there's about like 5 in here. And I'm gonna smash them as well. And once it's smashed, I'm gonna throw it in the blender. Alright guys, now I have my whole cumin. I'm gonna put in about 2 teaspoons. So I'm putting 2 teaspoons of the whole cumin. Now I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of the thyme. Alright guys, so I used about 2 teaspoons of the oregano. So what I always do with the oregano is I just pour it into my hand and then I start grinding it with my hand. And now I'm throwing it in the blender. Alright guys, now we're gonna throw in our vinegar. I'm gonna put in 1/4 of a cup. I'm gonna show you guys how much it is in case you guys don't have measuring cups. Alright guys, so this is like 1/4 of a cup, just so you guys get an idea of it. So I'm gonna throw that much in. Now I'm gonna throw in my 4 bay leaves. Look at how pretty that looks, you guys. You're probably wondering like, fuck, how is all of this gonna make birria? But watch. You know what I was wondering? I'm like, how did all these people just come up and put all these fucking ingredients in this recipe? Like, that's just crazy. Like, you just put like a bunch of like basically leaves and shit and just make like some bomb ass food out of it. Shout out to the ancestors for hooking us up with this recipe. Alright you guys, so now what I did is I got my beef broth. So I got some of the caldo from the carne de res, and this is like, I believe it's a little bit over 2 cups. So grab some of your broth and we're gonna use it to make our salsa. This is what's gonna make our birria flavor. Alright, now the last thing I'm gonna add to my salsa is salt. Ahí la tantean. Remember you guys, I never measure my salt. It's totally up to you on how salty you want it. So make sure you do taste tests. And guys, I would suggest you don't put so much salt. Just because your beef broth already has salt in it. So maybe just put a little bit, not too much. Alright guys, so now what I'm gonna do before I throw my salsa in here, I'm gonna take out my onion that I had in here and my garlic. So you want to take it out, you don't want to leave it in there. And you could also take out your leaves now. You don't need your leaves no more. Alright guys, now the next step. I cannot have you guys being lazy. You have to do this. So you don't need a big one like this, but this is the one that I like to use. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna strain our chile now. So I have my assistant here.
Hi, Britt. Hey. Oh, and then Keisha Mia.
Oh yeah, shout out to the other two, the cameraman. So this is like a lot of work, so we need backup. All right. So okay. Do you want me to hold it or do you want to hold it?
Oh.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw our chile in here. And I suggest you add it in little by little. And then just start going like this. That way you can get all the chile to come down. And you see how all the seeds and whatever didn't blend is right here. So it's not going in your chile. I mean, it's not going in your caldo. It's all staying right here. So that way you just get the flavor of the chile. And I promise you guys, this is going to be worth all the work. It's fucking fire. My money has never failed you guys. And make sure you get all the chile out. Alright guys, so this is what it should look like. As you can see, I took out all the chile and it's just like the seeds and stuff that's left of it. If you have like a turbo licuadora or blender, then you probably don't need to do all this, but I still suggest you do it, okay? Alright, cool. So now we're gonna mix it and then we're gonna do a taste test. Okay, so now we're gonna mix this. And we're gonna let it cook for about 10 minutes. Alright, so now I'm gonna do the taste test. Bomb. Okay. Okay, so what I do, this is optional, you don't need to do it, but I like to do it just to give it a little extra flavor, is I'm gonna use consommé de res. I'm literally just gonna put a little bit, so I'm just gonna throw about that much just to give it a little extra flavor. And I'm gonna throw a little extra salt. So now we're gonna let that cook. All right, let's taste it again. I wish you guys could fucking taste this, you guys. So fucking bomb. Alright guys, so what I did is I grabbed some of my caldo and I put it aside. So all I did is I'm gonna put it aside. I'm not gonna touch it. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put water to boil. So now we're gonna start working on the consommé. So typically I would use about 4 to like 5 tomatoes. So I'm gonna use 4 today. This one's kind of a big one, so I cut it in half, but it'll equal about to the same much. So it's about 4, and we're gonna throw them into boil in a different pot. And you want to let them boil for maybe about 5 minutes. All right, guys. So the Oaxaca cheese, you do have to shred it. So I got my assistant over here. She's over here shredding it. And I highly recommend you use this instead of Monterey Jack cheese, you guys. This one tastes so much better. Alright guys, so what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start taking out my meat. And I'm going to put it on the side. Alright guys, while my tomatoes are boiling, I'm going to make my salsa. This is just to have on the side. So I'm going to start throwing in all my tomatillos and my chiles. I'm going to throw in my 3 garlics. Alright guys, so I put about that much water. Okay, so now I'm gonna use beef broth to flavor my salsa, and it's up to you on how salty you want it. So I'm gonna start out with about that much, and you just do the taste test. Alright guys, so now I got my tomatoes in here, and I'm gonna throw about this much salt, and that's all you're gonna put. It's just salt and the tomatoes, and we're gonna blend them. Alright, so now this is ready. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna strain this. This is our original caldo from the birria. Alright guys, so now we're gonna strain our caldo. So we're gonna throw it in here and we're gonna transfer it over to another pot. Once we strain our caldo, we're gonna grab our tomato and we're gonna throw it in here. Alright, so now we're gonna mix it and we're gonna let this cook for maybe like 5 minutes. So now we're gonna get this started, you guys. Alright guys, so now the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna put our fire maybe on medium high. And we're gonna put just a little bit of oil. You don't wanna put too much. Maybe like that much. Alright guys, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start shredding our beef. So it's already cooled down. It's not as hot, so it's easy to shred. Alright guys, so now I'm going to wrap up some tortillas in paper towels and I'm going to throw them in the microwave for about 3 minutes. Alright, so do you guys remember our caldo we took out earlier? So now we're going to use it to dip our tortillas. We're going to let it cook for a couple seconds on one side, then we're going to flip it over. We're going to put our Oaxaca cheese. And then we're going to throw some meat inside of it. We're gonna let them deep fry for a little bit. So again, we're gonna grab our tortilla. We're gonna dip it. And throw it on here. We're gonna put our cheese. Now we're gonna put our meat. And close it. And you could eat this with you can eat them either hard or soft. It's really up to you. I kind of like mine's a little crunchy, just kind of in the middle, not too much. All right, guys, so now I'm gonna show you how to hook up your tacos. This is what they should look like. So I'm gonna throw in a little bit of cilantro. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of onion. I'm gonna put a little bit of chile. And I'm gonna put a little bit of lemon in it. This is what it looks like. So I'm just gonna throw a little bit of cilantro, a little bit of onion, and some lemon. Alright, you guys, it is about that time. This is for all my freaks. So it is time to do the taste test. So I'm gonna show you guys how fucking bomb this is gonna be. So let me grab my... Okay, so let's see. Let's taste this and see what we got. Fucking fire, you guys. I promise you guys, if you guys make this fucking recipe, you are not going to regret it. And let me just tell you, it is worth every fucking calorie. I'm gonna hit it again because it's that fucking good. Here, let me hit it one more time. Fucking fire, you guys. But you guys don't understand how much better this tastes when you make it at home. Like 20 times fucking better. And get a little ramen. This is fucking fire, you guys. Like, seriously, I can sit here and like eat like 20 of these in front of you guys, cause it's that fucking good. I wasn't even about to do 2 bites on that one. I was like, I'm gonna do the whole damn thing. That's how fucking good it is. Alright. Alright, guys, and that concludes my birria tacos with consommé. I hope you guys like my video. Let me know if you guys make your recipe a little different than mine. I always love learning new tricks or new tips that you guys have. You guys already know, send me your pictures, send me your videos of you guys making my recipes. I love when you guys send me those videos. Let me know if you guys make my recipe. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what's the next thing you guys want me to make. And then also, if you guys like my eyelashes, they are from Batty B Lashes and the style is saucy. My discount code is MOMONEY. I'm gonna put the link for the lashes and my discount code in the description box as well, with all the ingredients, so that way you guys know what you guys are gonna need. So thank you guys so much for watching MOMONEY's channel.